and we're going to be champions. We can't be fair weather people. We've got to be there when the chips are down. We've got to be there when the smiles are on our faces. True champions fight every day. True champions fight all the time. True champions fight when they're tired. Anybody can go when you're on the mountaintop. But we got to go when we're down in the valley. And we're going to the top. But the march to the top starts right here tonight. This is the year of the Rattler. Go, Rattlers, go! And we're going to strike. And we're going to strike. And we're going to strike again.
This could get ugly.
We are live in Aggie Stadium as North Carolina A&T gets set to kick it off. It will be James Owens and Vesti Paul deep to receive for the Rattlers of Florida A&M. And kicking it off for A&T will be Zach Cimaglia. And this is James Owens at the 15 and down at about the 16-yard line where the Rattlers will begin 1st and 10 from there.
The North Carolina A&T defense will start Tyree Hearn, 6'2", 230 at one end, along with Tony Mashburn, 6 feet 240. The tackles, Chris Neal, 6 feet 260, a senior, and Brandon Young, 6'3", 260, a senior. The linebackers, Devontae Grant.
Takes it up to the Rattler 16-yard line.
5'11",
Tackled there by Devontae Grant. It'll be 1st and 10, Florida A&M.
Makari Pugh, 5'11", 210 is the other outside linebacker. The middle linebacker is Tony Clodfelder, 5'10", 235. The corners, Tony McCray, 5'9", 180. From Laurenburg, and Devontae Graham, 5'9", 190 from Tallahassee Lincoln.
All right, here we go. Rattlers are set to go. It is Tyler Bass who gets the start for the Rattlers of Florida A&M. And we've got I
think they just reset the play clock.
Okay.
Yeah, Travis Crosby is the rover, 5'10", 190. And their free safety is Deji Alatoye, 6'2", 190 from Dublin, Ohio.
All right, the Rattlers are going to open up in an I formation with receivers to either side, and it'll be Lonnie Lockett, the up back, and the I back is going to be Eddie Rocker. Rattlers are moving right to left and heading toward the north end zone here in Aggie Stadium. Trying to get the scoreboard clock in sync with the play clock, or the play clock in sync with the scoreboard clock, and then we'll be ready to go.
The play clock is inoperable at this time.
All right. Now we're waiting on the... They're going to have to keep the play clock mic on the field as they've asked the clock operators to turn the clock off. Now here we go. Rattlers are set in the I formation, and Tyler Bass on first down is going to give it to Eddie Rocker. And Rocker challenging the left side of the defensive line of North Carolina A&T for maybe a yard, not much more. Be second
Eddie
down.
Rocker on the carry.
And about 9 to go for the Rattlers of Florida A&M.
No gain on the play. Tony Clodfelter on the tackle.
Second down.
All right, here we go. Rattlers going to break the huddle and send Travis Harvey wide to the near boundary along with Linworth Lennon. And Dwayne Harvey isolated to the far side. Now Linworth goes to that side, and they isolate Travis over here near side. Tyler Bass from the gun gives to Eddie Rocker, and Rocker lunges forward to about the 18-yard line, and it's going to make it third down now, and about 8 to go for a Rattler first down.
Yeah, Tyler Bass is a senior, Keith. Sat out a lot of last year with an injury, 6'3", 220-pound senior out of Memphis, Tennessee, and the University of Memphis. Has an excellent arm and also is an excellent runner, so you may see him run a lot of the quarterback read plays today.
All right, Dwayne Harvey wide to the near boundary. Now the Rattlers load the spread formation with twin receivers to either side. Tyler Bass from the gun, and the Aggies threatening blitz. And Tyler sets up, is going to pass, throws downfield for Travis Harvey and overthrows his intended receiver. It's going to bring up 4th down for the Rattlers. And Brandon Holdren will check on the punt for FAMU.
Yeah, Tyler threw that ball about 50 yards into the breeze, but overthrows his receiver.
Yeah, Devontae Graham out of Tallahassee, Florida, will be back deep to receive for North Carolina A&T.
And last week, during A&T's homecoming, he had a 108-yard return of a missed field goal.
All right, Brandon Holdren all set. The Aggies overload the right side, trying to bring some pressure to try and block the kick, and it is blocked. Goes straight up in the air, and the Aggies are going to recover it, pick it up, and take it into the end zone. Did he step out of bounds?
I think they're going to say he stepped out of bounds at about the 13-yard line, so it's not going to be a touchdown, but boy, they're going to have great field position.
And a penalty marker is on the play.
They loaded up the right side, brought pressure from that side, and actually get in, tip the ball. But let's see what the penalty is.
Okay, it's a sideline warning against the Aggies. Going to back them up 5 yards and give them a 1st down on their first possession of the afternoon from the Rattler 18-yard line. So let's take a quick look at the North Carolina A&T offensive lineup. At wide receiver is Donta Prince, 6'3", 210, a senior out of Laurinburg, North Carolina. William Robinson is the left tackle. Danye Gorell is the left guard. Ronald Canty is the center. Olin Leak is the right guard. Nathan Isles is the right tackle. John Stanfield is the tight end. Larry Raper, 5'11", 180, the senior out of Shelby, North Carolina, is the other wide receiver. On 1st down, they give it to Mike Mayhew. And Mayhew battles his way inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. So on 1st down, Mike Mayhew is going to pick up 5 yards. It'll make it 2nd down and 5. Mayhew, 5'9", 200-pound senior out of Charlotte, North Carolina. It's Quishon Quick who gets the start at quarterback today for the Aggies of North Carolina A&T. 6'1", 180-pound freshman from Laurinburg, North Carolina. And Leroy Bradford is the fullback, 5'7", 190, a senior out of Baltimore, Maryland. And on 2nd down and 5, the give is to Mayhew once again. And Mike Mayhew pounds his way close to the 10-yard line, down at about the 11. It's going to bring up 3rd down and about 2 to go for A&T. Jonathan Pillow on the stop for the Rattlers of Florida A&M.
Yeah, Jonathan up quickly from his safety spot to get in on that play.
12:16 to go here in the 1st quarter. The Rattlers threatening blitz on 3rd down and 2 as Quishon Quick gets his signal from the offensive coordinator over here on the sideline. He isolates a receiver to the near side and sends twins to the far boundary on a shovel pass. He shovels it to Mike Mayhew, and Mayhew close to the 10-yard line, but it's going to bring up 4th down for North Carolina A&T, and Zach Samaglia checks on to attempt a field goal.
That's a big window for the Rattler defense, Keith. The quick turnaround, they get the ball at the 18-yard line, only 8 yards gained in 3 plays, and forced a field goal attempt.
All right, this is going to be a 27-yard attempt from the left hash mark, and holding for A&T will be quarterback Quishon Quick. And here's the snap placement. Kick is on the way. It's airborne. And it's
the field goal is good.
And so with 11:14 to play here in the 1st quarter, North Carolina A&T draws first blood. Our score, A&T 3, FAMU nothing. We'll be back after these words from our network sponsors on the Rattler Sports Network.
Introducing a mobile application that can open up an entire new world for the orange and green faithful, with the ability to check out the latest in-campus news, events, athletic scores, and much, much more. Specifically designed for the FAMU. Whether it's linking to your class courses from your mobile device, looking through maps to find specific buildings on campus, or just having some fun looking through uploaded videos and photos, a great addition to your mobile FAMU student lifestyle. Get your FAMU app today.
Zach Samaglia kicks off, end over end kick. It's going to be fielded by James Owens at the goal line. 5, 10, 15, hit at the 16 and then pushed back. And so the Rattlers will begin our second possession of the afternoon from our own 16-yard line. And, Mike, you said it, that last defensive stand by the Rattlers was a winner because the Rattlers turned it over deep in our own territory and stopped the Aggies and held them to only a field goal.
This Aggie team looks very good on special teams, though, Keith. They've already come up with a blocked field goal. Twice now they've tackled Rattlers return men inside the 20-yard line.
All right, Rattlers going to start 1st and 10 from our own 16. 11 minutes and 10 seconds to play here in the first quarter. 3-0, the Aggies lead. Tyler Bass now loads up the pistol with Eddie Rocker in the backfield. No, it's James Owens, play action, and Tyler's going to swing this one out for Linworth Lennon. Lennon makes the catch and is going to be tossed out of bounds at about the 22-yard line. So on first down, that's going to be a gain of about 6 yards for the Rattlers of Florida A&M and make it 2nd down and 4 to go for a Rattler first down.
Little play action that time. First time we've seen the pistol formation today.
All right, Rattlers break the huddle. 2nd down and 4 from our own 22-yard line now. And this time the Rattlers isolate Dwayne Harvey to the far boundary and send triplets to the near side with the Rocker. The Rocket in the backfield, and Eddie's going to get the call, and he's going to be hit and hit twice. And by both hits were solid tackles by North Carolina A&T. And leading the charge was the rover, Travis Crosby,
and Devontae Grant.
5'10", 190-pound junior out of Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yeah, Crosby is an outstanding player, Keith. As I said, has 7 tackles behind the line of scrimmage coming up from his safety position. So you'll see him all over the field.
Yep, 3rd down and about 3 yards to go now for a Rattler first down. They'll credit Eddie with 1-yard gain on that last play. Isolation to the far side over there and triplets to the near side. That's Travis Harvey, the isolated. One great pass by Tyler Bass to find Linworth Lennon. He's going to move the sticks. Tyler took a big shot as he released that football, but nevertheless hung in there and completed the pass to Linworth Lennon, and that'll move the chains for the Rattlers. And the ball at our own 23-yard line, moving right to left.
Tight window to throw into, but you're right, Keith. Showed a strong arm and gets the first down as the Rattlers move from out of the shadow of their own goalpost.
This time the Rattlers send Dwayne Harvey wide to the far boundary and Travis Harvey to the near side, load up the I formation, and it's James Owens, the I back, and James going to be hit as he goes down the line. He's going to lose yards on the play, and that's good defense over there by North Carolina A&T. And on the stop for the Aggies, looks like number 30 for A&T. Tyree Andrews. All right, and it's going to bring up 2nd down and 12 to go as we lose 2 on the play with 9:15 to play in the first quarter. This time Tyler Bass from the gun with triplets near side, isolation to the far side. We give it to Eddie Rocker, and Eddie still going to lose more yards on the play.
Rocker on the carry.
Going to bring up 3rd down now, about 14 to go as we lose 2 more yards on that carry.
3rd and long.
Yep, they stepped up that time, Keith, playing a cover 1. They had been playing a lot of cover 4 zone before. That time they were bringing the blitz. They stepped up, played bump and run on the outside, and were right there to make the Rattlers lose even more yards on that running play.
All right, Rattlers this time going to send Travis Harvey isolated to the far boundary. And twins over here to the near side. Here comes Linworth Lennon in motion. So it'll be triplets now to the near side boundary. And Tyler Bass sets up, wants to pass, has time, fires across the middle, intended for Dwayne Harvey, but incomplete. It's going to bring up 4th down for the Rattlers of Florida A&M, and we'll punt with 8:20 to play in the first quarter. And the Aggies of North Carolina A&T lead 3-0. Devontae Graham will retreat to field this kick from Brandon Holdren. Devontae Graham, 5'9", 180-pound junior out of Tallahassee, Florida. Played his high school football at Lincoln, Mike, and the Lincoln Trojan high school football program, one of the best in Tallahassee.
No question, Keith, one of the best in the country, actually.
All right, the Aggies once again try to come and try to get a block on Holdren's kick. A nice kick, though, and Graham makes the fair catch at the A&T 36-yard line. So once again, the Aggies will start with real good field position from their own 36.
Yeah, first man down for the Rattlers covering that punt, Keith, was Tyler Riley, who we got a chance to meet at the weekly press conference.
The game is free and open to the public.
Tyler's 5'11", 215-pound freshman out of Ocala, Florida.
All right, the Aggies going to start 1st and 10 from their own 36. 8:14 to play in the first quarter, and they lead 3-0.
Yeah, the Rattler defense will have Patrick Scott, number 95 at nose gun, 6'1", 293 out of Lincoln. The tackles, Ellie Hippolyte, 6'4", 275 from Daytona, and Brandon Davis, 6'4", 295, a redshirt senior from Jacksonville.
All right, here we go. Quayshawn Quick runs the option play, but we've got penalty markers and whistles. Going to be illegal procedure, the call against the Aggies of A&T, and that'll back them up 5 yards.
Yeah, starting for the Rattlers at linebacker, William Small, 6'1", 6'2", 215 from Austell, Georgia. Bobby Jackson, 6'1", 228 from Miami Jackson. Brandon Hepburn, 6'4", 235, a senior from Pomona, New York. And Brandon Denmark, 6'4", 230 out of Tallahassee Ricketts. The cornerbacks, Terry Johnson, 6 feet, 185 out of Tallahassee Ricketts. Marvin Ross is 5'10", 175 from Jacksonville, Florida. The safeties, Jonathan Pillow, 6 feet, 195 from Jacksonville Mandarin. And Devin Roberts, 6'1", 200 from Ocala Forest.
All right, Aggies go wing left, send the wing back in motion, and give it to Mayhew, and Mayhew powers his way
on the carry.
out past the 40-yard line to about the 41, and that's going to be a first down. No, it's going to actually, they had 1st and 15. He's going to pick up about 10 yards and make it now 2nd down.
And about 5, yeah.
And about 5 to go for A&T. Good run, though, by Mike Mayhew.
Yeah, broke a tackle right at the line of scrimmage.
Again, the wingback goes in motion. Play action. Quayshawn Quick pulls it down. He's going to run. And Quick, the ball pops out, and it looks like the Rattlers have recovered. The Rattlers have recovered at the A&T 46-yard line. That's a big break. And it was Bobby Jackson, Mike, who may have actually forced the fumble and recovered it.
Bobby Jackson dropped back into coverage first as it was a play-action pass. The quarterback, Quick, who was the better runner of the two quarterbacks, decided to keep it. He took the hit right on the football. It comes loose, and the Rattlers now with excellent field position at the 46 of A&T.
All right, Rattlers in that with our best field position of the afternoon with 7 minutes and 31 seconds to play here in the first quarter, trailing 3-0. Tyler Bass going to load up the I formation with Eddie Rocker, the I back, receivers to either side. Orange helmets are down, and this time Tyler's going to set up and pass. No, Tyler's going to pull it down and run. And Tyler Bass slides at the 40-yard line of A&T, and on first down, that's a gain of 6 yards. Let's see where they mark him. And now we have a flag on the play.
Yeah, a little Michael Etheridge and one of the defensive backs got into a little pushing and shoving match downfield. Let's see which way this penalty goes. It was a nice run and gain by Tyler Bass. But let's see what the decision is. The Rattler offensive huddle is moving back as though the penalty is going to go against them, but we still don't have an official word.
A dead ball personal foul against the Rattlers. That's a big one. It's going to back us up 15 yards, and so that great field position that we had, Mike, now the Rattlers are going to have a first down and long from our own 44-yard line.
Yeah, it's going to be first down and 25. And that's just the kind of penalty that your young quarterback or your new starting quarterback does not need.
First down and 25 to go, as Mike said. 7:09 to play here in the first quarter. And we've got whistles.
Yeah. Not sure what the whistle is for now.
It'll be 2nd down for the Rattlers.
Oh, it's going to be second down.
Yeah, dead ball foul.
Second down at 25 for the Rattlers. At 6:58, Tyler Bass on the draw play gives to Eddie Rocker, and Eddie stumbles forward to about the 45-yard line. And that'll make it third down and about 22 yards to go now for FAMU.
Brandon Young.
Yeah, and even though this is one of the smaller defenses that you're going to see on this level, Keith, they are the #1 defense in the MEAC, and actually they have the #2 defense in the entire nation in the championship subdivision.
All right, here we go. Tyler Bass and the Rattlers now going to send Linworth Lennon in motion, and that'll give us a spread formation with twin receivers to either side. And Tyler, blitz coming, steps up in the pocket, pulls it down. He's going to run. He's got a lane, and Tyler Bass is nearly close to that first down marker, Mike, as he slides at the A&T. Looks like 37-yard line, maybe a yard short. And it may give us fourth down and about 1.
Yeah, well, actually, they're going to spot him at about the 38.5, I guess. It's going to be about 2 yards, a long one. But the Rattlers, let's see what they're going with. Looks like the offense is going to stay on the field.
Yeah, it's going to be fourth down and about 2.5 after the spot of the football. Ball's resting at the A&T 38-yard line. The Rattlers can get a first down at the 36-yard line.
Yeah, I think it's a good decision to go ahead and go for it right here.
Adamson Felix goes in motion. Tyler Bass tosses his pass down here intended for Felix, and it's going to fall incomplete. Defending on the play was Travis Crosby for North Carolina A&T, and so the Aggie defense is going to stop the Rattler drive, and the Aggies will take over 1st and 10 from their own 38-yard line.
Yeah, I think they tried to coax them into thinking we were going to run the football. We went with big personnel, 2 tight ends, and a fullback. But we go with a play-action pass, and they had it well covered.
So A&T takes over 1st and 10 at their own 39 is where they spot the football with 5:23 to play here in the first quarter, and they lead 3-0. The Aggies this time going to send receivers to either side, load the wing right, now send the wing man in motion and give it to Mike Mayhew. Mayhew trapped behind the line of scrimmage and going to be thrown for a huge loss back at about the 30-yard line, and on the stop.
It's Mike Dupree.
Is Mike Dupree for the Rattlers of FAMU.
Good penetration that time. That's a big loss on a running play. Dupree getting good penetration, and the Rattlers now getting a couple of substitutes in as A&T gets more receivers into the ball game.
Yeah, 2nd down and 17 to go now for the Aggies. And now a bad snap, and the penalty markers are thrown.
Actually, it seems the Rattler nose guard may have come across and made contact, forcing a bad snap. Let's see who that is in at nose guard.
Yeah, Mike Dupree is the guilty Rattler, and so it's going to give them 5 yards forward.
Yeah, they're saying Dupree, but I think that was the nose guard, Patrick Scott, that came across and hit the center.
And so it's going to bring 2nd down and about 11 to go now for the Aggies of North Carolina A&T.
Rattlers in a pressure look, 1 safety deep. And A&T now checking with his sideline, changing up the play.
All right, Quayshawn Quick gives to Mike Mayhew once again, and Mayhew, boy, finds a seam in that Rattler defense. It takes it all the way down to midfield. That'll move the chains for an Aggie first down.
Yeah, the Rattlers showing their defense really early. The Aggies taking their time, saw what the Rattlers were going to do defensively, bringing the blitz and called the appropriate play. He's going to pick up 11 yards and a first down right at midfield.
1st and 10 for North Carolina A&T. 4:13 to go here in the first quarter. They lead 3-0. Aggies with twin receivers over here to the near side. And again, it's Mike Mayhew. And Mayhew fights his way to about the 46-yard line, maybe the 45. We'll see where they spot the football. And that's going to be a 5-yard gain on first down. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 5 for North Carolina A&T.
Yeah, Mike Mayhew, Keith, the co-offensive player of the year, coming off 2 1,000-yard gains. And he is the all-time leading attempts rusher for North Carolina A&T.
All All right, Aggies send the wing back in motion, give it to Mayhew again. Mayhew pulls away from a couple of Rattlers and fights his way all the way down to the 36-yard line of FAMU, and that's an Aggie first down, and I'll move the chain.
Yeah, right now tackling is the problem. Couldn't get him on the ground, although contact was made with him very close to the line of scrimmage. And then checking into the game now is number 2, Ricky Lewis, Keith, who came to A&T as a quarterback. Actually ran a Wildcat for him for a while before he was moved to the running back position.
All right, Quayshawn Quick is going to reset his backs now. Lewis comes over to the right side. 2 back set, twin receivers to the near boundary. And now an isolated receiver to the far side. And Quick this time. Play action. Wants to pass. Going to set up the screen out of the backfield. And, boy, takes it all the way down to the Rattler 20-yard line. That is Leroy Bradford, the fullback, 5'7", 190, the senior out of Baltimore, Maryland. And that's going to set the Aggies up right at the red zone with a first down and 10. They're going to mark him at the 21, so just outside the red zone at the Rattler 21. All right, Aggies send a man in motion. Quayshawn Quick gives this time to his running back. Let's see if that was – it is Ricky Lewis in for the backup or playing backup to Mike Mayhew. Ricky Lewis is 5'9", 190-pound junior out of Greensboro, and he's going to pick up a yard. Second down and 9 for A&T. Ball's resting now at the Rattler 20-yard line.
Yeah, give Frank Mays some credit right there for holding the point of attack and holding that to a small gain.
All right, here we go. Quayshawn Quick this time sends his wing back in motion. Ricky Lewis is in the backfield. And play action. Quick. This is Quick. And Quick inside the 15 down to about the 12-yard line. Maybe the 13 is where they're going to mark it.
Well, that's why Quick's in the ball game. He is the better runner of the two. Lewis Kendall is the better passer, but Quick is going to be about 2 yards short of another first down.
Yeah, third down and 2 for A&T with a minute 39 to play now in the first quarter. Aggies leading 3-0.
Yeah, and a big play early in the ball game, Keith. The Rattler defense able to force a field goal the first time. Let's see if we can hold again.
All right, Aggies going to send receivers to either side and load an unbalanced line with the wing left. Now the wing back comes in motion to the right side, and Quayshawn Quick's going to throw the slant, and the Rattlers took that away. That's great defense down there, Mike. And by Terry Johnson. Just took away the slant, and it's going to bring up fourth down for North Carolina A&T.
It's a tremendous play by Terry Johnson, Keith. They were right. You know, running the slant play. He jumped inside it, really had a chance for the interception.
All right, Zach Samaglia comes on to attempt what will be a 30-yard field goal from the right hash mark. Quayshawn Quick will hold. And here's the snap and placement. Kick is on the way. Well, it looks like it was partially deflected, but it goes through. And the Aggies, with 1 minute 9 to play in the first quarter, take a 6-0 lead, and we'll be back to Aggie Stadium in Greensboro, North Carolina after these words from our network sponsors on the Rattler Sports Network.
The Booster program supports all athletic programs at the university. Join the Rattler Booster Club. It's not too late.
Camacho. And Camacho kicks a high, short kick. And this is going to sail out of bounds. And penalty markers on the play.
Yeah, the Rattlers will have the choice to force the Aggies to kick the football off again or take it at the 35-yard line. A&T is coached by Rod Broadway, who is from this area. First coached at North Carolina Central, then moved out to Grambling before coming back here to North Carolina A&T. Has had outstanding records wherever he has been, and it took a very short time and turned this A&T program around. Remember the last time we came up here, Keith, they were mostly freshmen. They took us into overtime, and if you look at their roster now, it's filled with juniors and seniors.
All right, the illegal procedure is the call against North Carolina A&T, and the Rattlers are going to take over. 1st and 10 at our own 35-yard line. Moving right to left again here in the first quarter, and down 6-0 to North Carolina A&T.
Third series now for Tyler Bass. Had a drive going the last time. A penalty sort of took the momentum away.
Yeah, Tyler isolates Travis Harvey to the far side. Now Linworth Lennon goes that way. It's Eddie Rocker in the backfield. No, it's James Owens. And Owens is going to get the ball, but he's going to be dropped for a loss on the play.
James Owens on the carry.
Yeah, the running game, Keith, right now is losing more yards than it's gaining.
Yeah, we're going to lose 2. 2nd down and 12 for the Rattlers of Florida A&M with 44 seconds remaining in the first quarter. All right, Tyler and the Rattlers break the huddle. Send triplet receivers or 3 receivers to the near boundary. Isolate Travis Harvey over to the far side with Eddie Rocker now back in the ball game. And we swing out. Actually, it's just James Owens again. And Owens makes the catch, turns upfield at the 40, and out of bounds at about the 44-yard line. He's going to be real close to a Rattler first down, about a yard short. And it's going to bring up 3rd down and 1. That's an 11-yard gain on that pass play.
Yeah, James had to break 1 tackle. He's going to be a yard short of the first down as the Rattlers have to get the ball all the way down to the 45-yard line for the first down. So a short yardage play here on 3rd down.
3rd down and 1 for the Rattlers. And I think we're not going to get this play off before the end of the quarter. And that's going to be the end of the first quarter play here in Greensboro, North Carolina at Aggie Stadium with our score, North Carolina A&T 6, FAMU nothing. We'll be back after these words from our local sponsors on the Rattler Sports Network.
The Rattler Booster program supports all athletic programs at the university. Join the Rattler Booster Club. It's not too late.
1st and 10 Rattlers. Ball's resting now at our own 48. Rattlers now moving left and right as we begin the second quarter of play. And Tyler Bass is going to give it to Eddie Rocker, and the Rocket Man is going to be struck down at about the midfield stripe. So Eddie's going to pick up about 2 yards on the play, make it 2nd down and about 8 yards to go for a Rattler first down.
Yeah, Coach Broadway is a defensive-minded coach, Keith. He was a defensive line coach through most of his career. Actually won a national championship as the defensive line coach down in Gainesville with the Florida Gators.
Yep, worked real closely with Steve Spurrier. Who's now up at South Carolina. And here we go. The Tyler Bass. Play action, swings it out. Got his man. That's Lonnie Lockett, the Rattler fullback. And, boy, Lockett powers for a tough yard against about 3 or 4 Aggie defenders. And it's going to bring up 3rd down now and about 7 to go for a Rattler first down.
The blitz came off the corner quickly for the Aggies, forced Tyler to throw that ball even more quickly. So the A&T defense is able to close and make it a 3rd down and about 7.
3rd down and 7 for the Rattlers. Ball is resting at the Aggie 49-yard line, and the Rattlers load the spread formation with twin receivers to either side. Tyler Bass from the gun, sets up, fires. That pass is tipped away from the intended receiver, Linworth Lennon. And defending over there for A&T is the Sam linebacker, Makari Pugh, 5'11", 210, a junior out of Charlotte, North Carolina. And it's going to bring up 4th down for the Rattlers of Florida A&M.
Yes, both Pugh and their defensive linebacker, actually their safety, Olatoye, are transfers from the University of Colorado.
All right, here we go. Brandon Holdren is all set to punt. It's Devontae Graham deep to receive for North Carolina A&T. And once again, the Aggies overload to try and get pressure on the Rattler punt team. And we're going to get an illegal procedure call against the Rattlers of Florida A&M. That'll push us back 5.
Actually, looking around the stadium at the flags, Keith, it must be a swirling wind, as the flags on the right end zone seem to be blowing out, and so the ones on this end zone. So a swirling wind here in North Carolina.
All right, Brandon Holdren on the punt on 4th down and 12 now. The Aggies once again overload to try and get pressure on the kick. But this time try to set up a return. And Devontae Graham tells his other teammates to get away from the football as it takes a Rattler roll. And it's going to roll dead down at, looks like the 11-yard line.
And another silly penalty by the Rattlers, Keith. He just decided to take a swing. Patrick Aiken, one of the A&T players, right in front of the officials. That's going to be a 15-yard mark-off. And now what the Rattlers would have had them in a deep hole, they're going to come out of this with pretty good field position. He didn't make contact, but he did take a swing.
All right, we're awaiting the official word here.
No, I think they're making the wrong call. They were saying it was on the receiving team. It's going to be on the kicking team.
Okay, he got it right. It's now going to be assessed against the Rattlers. 15 yards, and Mike, you're so correct. That is one of the aggravating things that the Rattlers have struggled with all season long, having good plays negated by just debilitating penalties.
Yeah, and really nonsense penalties, Keith. You know, after the play is over, throwing in. I mean, what are you going to punch on a football field? The guy's got a helmet on, so the best you can do is break your hand on his helmet. So just a silly penalty.
So the Aggies now with a 1st down and 10. Balls resting at their own 33-yard line. Much better field position with 13:02 to play here in the first half. The Aggies lead 6-0. And A&T goes offset and try to run a jet sweep, but we got penalty markers on the play.
Yeah, that time it's going to be movement against the Aggies. Five-yard penalty. The left guard and tackle both moved on that play. So the Aggies will have a 1st down and 15.
Ball's back now at their 28-yard line after the assessment. 13:02 to play in the first half. 6-0. A&T leading Florida A&M. And here again comes the receiver. That's Raper. And they hand it off to, looks like Mayhew, but this time he's going to be trapped and dropped behind the line of scrimmage. Brandon Denmark there, and also Brandon Hepburn.
Yeah, and Brandon Davis also in on that play, Keith, coming down from his tackle spot.
The 3 Brandons on the tackle. It's going to bring up 2nd down. It looks like about 16 yards.
Yeah, I think they lost another yard.
Quayshawn Quick at quarterback, though, for the Aggies. And the Aggies go with twin receivers now to the far boundary. Wing left. Now the wing back goes in motion to the far side and swings this pass out intended for Larry Raper, and he makes the catch. That's a good-looking catch on a difficult pass, but it's going to be enough to move the chains at the Aggie 44-yard line. That's a 1st and 10 for A&T.
Raper, 5'11", 180-pound senior out of Shelby, North Carolina. They use several freshman receivers, though, in their lineup.
All right, Rattlers threatening blitz as the Aggies have Larry Raper and Thomas Williams wide to the near boundary. Wing right this time. And Mayhew in the backfield. They toss it to Mayhew, and this time Mayhew gets maybe a yard, but not much more. 2nd down and 9 to go for North Carolina A&T.
Yeah, good job there by Patrick Scott, the nose guard. Keith came all the way down the line and made the play on a toss sweep to the outside. That's an outstanding play by the big man in the middle. 11:30 to go here in the half. 6-0 our score.
2nd down and 8. And the Aggies with an offset eye. Isolated receiver to the far boundary, and twins over here to the near side. And Quayshawn Quick this time gives to Mayhew, and Mayhew tries to find the seam to turn up on that zone stretch play, but he runs right into number 6 for the Rattler, George Maxey, who makes the stop along with Brandon Denmark.
Yeah, Denmark was right there. Again, it's Patrick Scott coming down from his nose guard position. It's
3rd down and 8 now for A&T. Ball resting at their own 46-yard line with 10:35 to play in the first half. Quayshawn Quick shouting signals. He's got twin receivers, got a spread formation, twins to either side.
Yeah, Rattlers up, pressing on this play.
Oh, that pass is a swing pass out of the backfield intended for Ricky Lewis. It's going to fall incomplete. The Rattlers had it defensed well, Mike. And Quick had to toss his pass. He had to put touch on it to get the pass up and over the Rattler defender, but it falls incomplete, and it's going to bring up 4th down for A&T.
Yeah, Ellie Hippolyte made a nice read on that, got in the passing lane, and really forced that ball to be thrown way too high.
All right, Linworth Lennon is deep to receive for the Rattlers of FAMU with 10:15 to play here in the first half. 6-0, the Aggies lead. And it is Samaglia on the punt for the Aggies. Gets a good snap. Boy, just eludes Rattler defenders. And Linworth Lennon feels this punt on the fly, and he's going to be tossed for negative yards after he makes the catch. Should have thrown up the hands for the fair catch, Mike, but either way, we'll start at our own, looks like 16-yard line.
Yeah, did a good job of, first of all, feeling that ball, though, and not letting it roll inside the Rattler 5-yard line. But again, the Rattlers start in poor field position. We've had only one opportunity to start in decent field position. Most of the time, we've been backed up.
We'll start this one at our own 17 with 10 minutes and 2 seconds remaining now in the first half. All right, here we go. Tyler Bass is going all the way at quarterback for the Rattlers today. He's going to send Linworth Lennon in motion to the near boundary and isolate Dwayne Harvey over there to the far side. Rattlers give the football to Eddie Rocker, and Eddie cuts back against the grain and fights his way to the 20-yard line. That's a gain of 2. 2nd down, and, well, they're only going to give him 1. They're going to mark him at the 19. So 2nd down and 9 to go for a Rattler first down.
Yep, Rattlers again going with a zone stretch play. You may see Tyler Bass keep that football when they off the option on that same look.
All right, Dwayne Harvey wide to the far boundary with a slot over there, and it's Linworth Lennon wide to the near side with Travis Harvey in the slot, and this time we give it to Eddie again. And Eddie Rocker fights his way out to about the 23, maybe the 24. We'll see where they spot the football. But it's going to bring up 3rd down and about 6 to go for a Rattler first down.
Yeah, and so far the Rattlers not very successful on these 3rd down plays, only converting 1 so far in the ball game.
9 minutes to play in the first half. 6-0. A&T leads Florida A&M. Beautiful afternoon here in Greensboro, North Carolina. Part of that whole triad area. And, it is a perfect fall afternoon here in Greensboro, North Carolina. Tyler Bass empty backfield, tosses this one out here for Linworth Lennon. Linworth turns upfield, is going to have the first down and more as he fights his way out to the 36-yard line, and that'll move the chains. It's a Rattler first down.
Yeah, press man-to-man that time from the A&T Aggies. Rattlers run a little pick play, and they get Linworth Lennon open on the outside, and he picks up that first down. So Rattlers convert on third down for the second time.
Adamson Felix and Dwayne Harvey. Felix working the slot to the far boundary along with Linworth Lennon. Isolate Travis Harvey, and we give it to Eddie Rocker. And Eddie's going to be short of the line of scrimmage. He's going to lose about a yard on a play. Second down and 11 to go for a Rattler first down.
Yeah, just not getting a lot of push at the point of attack. And again, the running game loses a yard on the play.
And guys, I know we're doing a lot of running plays right now, but every time Tyler's coming off the field, of course, Quinn Gray is in his ear. So just lay around for that, guys. Just keep your eyes open, working with him on going through all of his reads. So just pay attention to him.
Okay, here we go. Rattlers now shift and bunch three to the near boundary. Isolate Travis Harvey over there to the far side. And this time Tyler Bass is going to throw it out here for Dwayne Harvey. He eludes one Aggie and takes it to the 41-yard line. It's going to bring up third down now. And about 5 to go for a Rattler first down.
Yeah, good mixture of man and zone being shown by A&T that time. Again, in their 4-deep zone defense, which gives up the short throw. But again, a small, quick defense closes quickly to hold him to a short gain.
All right, third down and 5 for the Rattlers. Ball's resting and out on 40-yard line. Rattlers go triplets to the far side and isolate a receiver over here to the near side. And Tyler Bass on the slant. He has Dwayne Harvey across the middle at the 45-yard line of A&T, and that's a Rattler first down. Move those chains.
Blitz came free on the left side that time as the Rattlers were in a 5-wide offense. But Tyler Bass recognized it, throws the ball right where the blitz came from, and the Rattlers again convert and have a drive going now down to the A&T 45.
Well, this week on Halftime at FAMU, Glendale Presley talks with FAMU Director of Alumni Affairs, Carmen Cummings, about alumni carrying the torch for the next 125 years in the upcoming 125th anniversary homecoming gala coming up on Halftime at FAMU. Tyler Bass wants to pass, fires across the middle. Boy, that pass nearly picked off. It was intended for Adamson Felix, and it was middle linebacker Tony Clodfelter who almost picked it off. 5'10", 235-pound redshirt junior out of Lexington, North Carolina. And so it's second down and 10 for the Rattlers now at the A&T 45.
Yeah, while we've got a little lulling action, I want to say hi, Mom, and hi, Gene. Down in Tallahassee, listening on 96.1 Jams.
And here we go, second down and 10 for the Rattlers from the Aggie 45. Tyler Bass gives it to Eddie Rocker, and a nice run there by Eddie. Takes it all the way down to about the 34-yard line of A&T, and that's an 11-yard gain and a first down for the Rattlers of FAMU. Want to say hi to Ann O'Neill. Mike, we were talking about Ann on our way up here. Hadn't seen Ann. She's been there at all of the home games, but
we just were mentioning we missed her on the flights.
Yeah. And here we go. The Rattlers with a first down now at the A&T 34-yard line. Tyler Bass under center. Orange helmets are down. They give it to Jordan Stanley, and Jordan fights his way down near the 32-yard line of A&T. And that's going to be a gain of about 2. Second down and 8 to go. George Godfather Thompson, Mike, listening in down in Tallahassee, along with Mr. Clifford Swain over there in Havana. Want to say hi to Kayla, Taylor, Kristen, Corbin, and Lori. They're all listening. Dorothy Williams, Sequoia Finch in Tallahassee, Brenda Moss and Ashley Moss, Veronica McGriff, and Betty Reeves are all listening too. And we'll more shout-outs later as we continue. As the Rattler has a good drive going. This is Linworth Lennon. He eludes one Aggie, still on his feet, and Linworth fights his way to about the 31-yard line. And that's going to make it third down for the Rattlers and about 6 yards to go now for a first down.
They went with a quick screen, had some blocking out in front of it. But again, the Rattlers here have to convert a 3rd and +5 or 3rd and 7 here to keep this drive going. They may be within field goal range, but this could possibly be 4-down territory.
All right, Dwayne Harvey, Adamson, Felix, and Linworth Lennon. All triplets, that is, to the far side. Isolated to the near side is Travis Harvey. As Tyler Bass has an empty backfield, fires the slant. It's caught by Linworth Lennon, and Linworth coming back, actually going to lose a yard from where he originally caught the football, but it'll make it 4th down and 1 for a Rattler first down.
And the Rattlers going for it, Keith. A quick decision by the Rattler bench. They did not think about kicking a field goal. They want to go for this 4th and 1 and try to get it in the end zone. So a big play here in the first half with 3:55 to go before halftime.
That time, that's what you talked about, the big Rattler offensive line against the smaller Aggie defensive line, and the Rattler offensive line pushes the Aggies back as Bass picks up the first down.
Yeah, the Rattlers went with a spread formation, no backs in the backfield, forcing the Aggies to spread out too, and the offensive line one-on-one were able to get the good push.
1st and 10 Rattlers now at the Aggie 24-yard line with 3:25 to play in the first half. This is our best field position of the afternoon here in Greensboro. Tyler Bass now play action, fires the slant. It's caught, and let's see, is that Adamson Felix? He's down inside the 20 at about the 16-yard line.
That is Adamson Felix, who has really come on since the beginning of the season.
They're going to mark him at the 17-yard line of A&T. That's a gain of 7. 2nd down and 3 to go for a Rattler first down. 2:51 to play in the first half. The Rattlers have a good drive going here deep in Aggie territory. Inside the red zone, and the Rattlers go triplets to the far boundary and isolate, looks like Linworth Lennon over here to the near side. We give it to Eddie Rocker, and the Rocket Man pulls away from a couple of Aggies, still on his feet, down inside the 5 to the 4-yard line. That's a Rattler first down. Move those chains.
Rattlers did a good job on the backside that time. They ran the zone read play to the left, but he's able to cut it all the way back to the right, get inside the 5-yard line. It's 1st down and goal now from the 4-yard line.
2:25 to play in the first half. Rattlers trailing 6-0, but threatening at the Aggie 4-yard line. 1st and goal to go. Dwayne Harvey and Linworth Lennon now. Twins to the far boundary. Travis Harvey isolated over here to the near side. Linworth comes in motion. And it's Eddie Rocker in the backfield with Tyler Bass. And it's going to be the Rocket Man trying to get outside. And boy, the Aggies brought a great penetration from the defensive front, and Eddie's going to lose yards on the play, and it's going to make it 2nd down and goal to go for the Rattlers now from the Aggie 9-yard line. A loss of 5 on the play.
Loss of 5 is, you're right, Keith. It was good penetration. Tony Mashburn, the senior out of Tallahassee, one of the first to get there.
Travis Harvey isolated to the far boundary. Triplets are out to the near side. It's Dwayne Harvey, Linworth Lennon, and Adamson Felix. And it's an empty backfield for Tyler Bass. And Bass throws the underneath. It's caught. And boy, trying to fight for more yards down there is, let's see.
That was a big tight end.
Michael Etheridge. Etheridge, Mike, was shaken up against South Carolina State. Then he gets up a little groggy after that hit.
Yeah, had a knee, actually, in the game, the previous game, and this time he took the hits up high as he struggled to get extra yards. Yeah. 3rd down and goal now from the 6-yard line.
Yeah, we picked up 3 yards on that pass play. 3rd down and goal to go from the Aggie 6-yard line. Linworth Lennon in motion now. Tyler Bass with the setback, swings it out for James Owens, and Owens turns upfield and fights his way down inside the 5, down to about the 1 or maybe the 2. We'll see where they spot the football, but it's going to bring up 4th down, and the Rattlers trying to cut this lead in half on this play. It's going to be a 19-yard field goal from the left hash mark. And here we go, snap placement. Kick is airborne and good. And so with 24.2 seconds remaining in the first half, our score, A&T 6, FAMU 3. We'll be back after these words from our local sponsors on the Rattler Network.
Rattler Booster program supports all athletic programs at the university. Join the Rattler Booster Club. It's not too late.
And Chase Varnador gets off a end-over-end kick. Going to drive Devontae Graham into the end zone, and he decides to take a knee. And so he downs it in the end zone. The Aggies now with 24.2 seconds remaining. Let's see what they decide to do.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if they did anything other than take a knee and take this 6-3 lead into the half.
They'll start from their own 25-yard line, leading 6-3.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to the Seniors family, the Jeff Walker family.
Yep.
To the Fitzpatrick family down in Tallahassee.
Yeah, Kelvin Rozier made the trip this week. I want to say hi to Laverne Stryker Washington and all the fellas from the alley. Dot Ely, the Vice President and Market Manager at Cumulus Broadcasting. I want to say hi to her too. Quayshawn Quick takes a knee, and that should do it for the first half of play with our score. A&T 6, FAMU 3. We'll be back with our Rattler Boosters halftime show after these words from our network sponsors on the Rattler Sports Network.
Introducing a mobile application that can open up an entire new world for the orange and green faithful, with the ability to check out the latest in-campus news, events, athletic scores, and much, much more. Specifically designed for the FAMU. Whether it's linking to your class courses from your mobile device, looking through maps to find specific buildings on campus, or just having some fun looking through uploaded videos and photos, a great addition to your mobile FAMU student lifestyle. Get your FAMU app today.
So, Rattlers, let's boost Florida tourism and win the title of Florida's #1 fans. Head to Facebook.com/ShareALittleSunshine and invite everyone you know to visit Florida. Now go share a little sunshine. The Aggies return the second half kick to the 19-yard line, and that's where they'll begin. 1st and 10 as we begin the second half of play.
Yeah, it was Devontae Graham out of Tallahassee and Lincoln on the return. Gets about a 20-yard return as he caught it about a yard deep into the end zone. The statistics, Keith, are about as even as the game is. The Rattlers with 53 yards rushing, A&T with 52. Mike Mayhew, 10 carries, 47 yards, leads the Aggies. Eddie Rocker has 11 carries and 36 yards. Tyler Bass is 12 of 17 for 78 yards. Quayshawn Quick is 3 of 5, and he starts out in the shotgun.
Yeah, actually it's Lewis Kendall who comes back as the starting quarterback for North Carolina A&T, and Kendall pulls it down and he's going to take off and run it. And Lewis Kendall now on first down is going to be bumped out of bounds at about the 35-yard line and pick up about 15 yards. Mike Kendall, known as a better passer, shows he's got some legs too on that carry.
Yeah, and they have been using both quarterbacks a lot, and it's surprising they start here the second half with Lewis Kendall.
6'1", Lewis Kendall, 6'1", 205-pound redshirt junior out of Atlanta, comes in as the starter to start the second half. And we'll give you the rest of that Aggie offensive lineup after this play. Wing left and the wing back. Bradford goes in motion. Play action, though. He gives it to Mike Mayhew, and the Rattlers are all over that play. Let's see who comes up with the tackle. Looks like it was number 57 for the Rattlers. Smalls. And the Aggies come back to start the second half with Donta Prince at the wide receiver. William Robinson, the left tackle. Danye Gorell is the left guard. Ronald Canty, the center. The right guard, Olin Leak. The right tackle, Nathan Isles. Tight end is John Stanfield. Larry Raper, the other wide receiver. Mike Mayhew, the running back. The fullback, Leroy Bradford again. And Lewis Kendall starts at quarterback to start the second half. 2nd and 9, and they give it to Mayhew again. And Mayhew powers his way out to about the 44-yard line. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 1 for North Carolina A&T.
Going to be short yardage, and that play looked very similar to the one that was run against the Rattlers in the last game we played, the little inside draw. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 1. Linworth Lennon was the leading receiver for the Rattlers in the first half. He had 5 catches for 32 yards.
All right, here we go. Wing left again for Lewis Kendall and the Aggies. Bradford goes in motion, the wing back. They give it to Mayhew, and Mayhew is going to be stopped short. He's going to be trapped behind the line of scrimmage, and it's Brandon Denmark once again on the tackle for the Rattlers of Florida A&M. And once again, I think it's William Smalls, Mike, who gets up off the bottom of that pile, and it's going to bring up 4th down for A&T.
Yeah, A&T is going to go ahead and put the punt team out, although the Rattlers need to be wary of a fake since there's only 1 yard to go and it's out near midfield. But that's a great defensive stand by the Rattler defense.
Rattlers going to drop Linworth Lennon to receive this punt from Zach Samaglia at 12:27 to play here in the 3rd quarter. Rattlers trail 6-3. But stop the Aggies on their first possession of the 2nd half. Beautiful punt from Samaglia. Linworth Lennon is going to field it at the 9-yard line and be dropped right there. And so the Rattlers will begin 1st and 10 to start the 2nd half on our first possession from our own. They're going to spot him at the 10-yard line. And so Travis Harvey will go at the flanker. Robert Hartley, the left tackle. Drew Savory, the left guard. Doug Almendares is the center. Kevin House is the right guard. Zary Patterson, the right tackle. Michael Etheridge, Mike went out in the first half with an injury. We have to check on him, get an update. Eddie Rocker at the tailback. Tyler Bass is going all the way at quarterback after Damian Fleming was injured in that South Carolina State game. Lonnie Lockett, the fullback, and Linworth Lennon, the other wide receiver.
Yeah, it looks like Michael Morris came back at tight end.
All right, here we go. Tyler Bass wants to pass, throws this pass downfield for Travis Harvey. That's a great catch by Travis Harvey out at the 31-yard line. That's going to move the chains and give the Rattlers a first. That's about a 20-yard pass play and gives Rattlers some breathing room as well, Mike, but a great catch by Travis Harvey.
And a really deep out, Keith. That ball was actually thrown before Harvey came out of his break, so an accurate pass also from Tyler Bass.
All right, here we go. The Rattlers, the 1st down and 10 at our own 31-yard line, moving left to right as we begin the 2nd half, decked out in orange helmets, white jerseys, and orange numbers here this afternoon. And Tyler Bass with the 1 setback, play action, swings it out here for Travis Harvey, and Travis makes the catch and crosses the 35-yard line near the 38-yard line. It's going to bring up 2nd down. And looks like 2nd down at about 4. So a gain of 6 on 1st down on that throw and catch to Travis Harvey.
Yeah, I was looking at the halftime stats, Keith. We had not, Travis Harvey didn't have a single catch in that. We had to figure out a way to get it to him, and now the first 2 plays of the 2nd half, we get the ball to Travis Harvey.
All right, here we go. Linworth Lennon in motion. And Tyler Bass. Well, Aggies threatening blitz and bring the blitz. Bass throws downfield for Travis Harvey, incomplete.
Boy, and Tyler Bass took a lick after that play, Keith, and he is really slow getting up. The Rattlers already without starting quarterback Damian Fleming. Now may also be without Tyler Bass, who is going to have to go out for a play.
Yeah, we did bring the freshman quarterback, Mike, on the trip, and he was warming up.
No, it's going to be Damian Fleming, who's already checked into the game.
Damian Fleming is in. Damian told me he thought that he might only be used in emergency situations, and this is certainly one of those.
Yeah, and this is a tough situation for him to come into. It's going to be 3rd down, about 4 yards to go. He's going to have to come in fairly cold and come right out throwing the football.
Yeah, 3rd down and 4 for the Rattlers. Damian with Eddie Rocker in the backfield. And he sends twin receivers to now triplets to the near boundary as Linworth Lennon comes in motion. He isolates the receiver over there to the far side, and Damian's pass is swung out. It's caught by Linworth Lennon, and Linworth has the 1st down and fighting to stay on his feet, and he does so against maybe 3 or 4 A&T Aggies.
And trying to hold on to the football. They were grabbing at that ball, trying to get it out. But he holds on to it, and it is a Rattler. And just like that, Damian comes right out, puts the ball right on the money.
Yep. 1st and 10 Rattlers at our own 43-yard line with 10 minutes and 31 seconds to play here in the 3rd quarter. 6-3, the Aggies lead. Rattlers on the move, though, at our own 43. Receivers to either side, I formation. And Damian Fleming hands it off to Eddie Rocker, and the Rocket Man powers his way to the 45. That's a gain of 2. Second down and 8 to go for a Rattler first down.
Yeah, good job right there, putting his head down, just trying to get what he could out of that play.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Rattler Sports Network. Second down and 8 for FAMU. Ball is resting at our own 45. We're moving left to right as we begin the second half. Rattlers bunch 3, isolate Travis Harvey to the far boundary. And again, it's Damian Fleming. And Damian's going to pull it down and run himself. And Damian goes down at
he was down.
midfield. The ball pops out, but he was down.
Yeah.
And it's going to bring up third down and about 3 to go for Rattler first down.
No, I think it's about 6.
Okay, yeah. They spot. I thought they were going to spot him near midfield, but they spot him at about the 48. So it's going to be third down and 6 for a Rattler first down.
Yeah, Damian protecting himself, went down on his own, and of course the ground can't cause a fumble, so the Rattlers get it back and come out this time in a 5-wide formation.
Yep. Empty backfield for Damian Fleming.
Well, one-on-one on Travis Harvey without any help over there.
Third down and 6. And Damian looking, pulls it down. He's hit, and Damian is going to go down. The ball pops out, and
it's already blown dead again.
It's already blown dead. So bring up fourth down for the Rattlers.
The Rattlers were able to flip field position, though, Keith, and if we get a good punt here from Brandon Holdren, we can pin them down deep in their own territory as the Rattlers able to move that football from inside their own 10-yard line out near midfield.
Hey, guys, real quick. Tyler Bass. Tyler should be coming back in real soon. I think he just got the air knocked out of him. And Etheridge, we're not sure how he's going to be on the field later on. It just pretty much re-aggravated his knee injury. So lay around for that.
Okay, here we go. This is Devontae Graham. Boy, he is. Rattlers had excellent kick coverage down there on a great punt from Brandon Holdren. They're going to pin Devontae Graham down at about the 8-yard line where the Aggies will begin first and 10 from there. That's just excellent kick coverage.
Yeah, Devontae probably made a mistake by fielding that ball inside his own 5-yard line. It probably would have gone into the end zone, but luckily for the Rattlers, he tries to field it and come out, and they'll start deep in their own territory.
Yeah, Mike, the Rattlers are the top team in the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference in kick coverage, and you saw an example of it right there.
Again, it's going to be Lewis Kendall coming in at quarterback.
Leroy Bradford in the backfield. And Kendall is going to send Raper wide to the near boundary, receiver to the far side, and a wing left. Wing left this time with Bradford in the backfield. And actually that's Bradford going in motion, play action. Kendall wants to pass. Boy,
he's under pressure.
He's under a lot of pressure, but he breaks a couple of tackles.
Still on his feet,
and now fights his way. Well, he's going to lose yards. He's not going to get back to the 10. He's going to go down at about the 7 or 8 yard line. But again, swarming Rattler defense. Boy, almost had him trapped in the end zone.
I think that's the frustration you see some of the Rattlers. They thought they had him in the end zone there for a safety, but he's able to fight his way back out.
7:37 to go, third quarter. Aggies leading 6-3, and A&T now with a second down and 11 to go. Ball's resting at their own 7-yard line. Lewis Kendall under center this time. Sends wing back Bradford in motion. Sets up, wants to pass again, dancing around back there in that end zone.
Oh, that pass is dropped.
He throws that pass out there. Jonathan Pillow. No, actually Marvin Ross defending on the play for the Rattlers. And it's going to bring up third down and 11 now for A&T.
And a big third down right here, Keith. If we can hold them right here, we should be able to get the football back at around midfield. Big third down play here early in the third quarter.
7:15 to go, third quarter. A possession play for A&T. Ball's resting on their own 7-yard line. Third down and 11. Lewis Kendall with Mayhew in the backfield. And twin receivers to either side. They're going to spread the formation now. Mayhew shifts and Kendall. Now takes a look at that Rattler defense. Rattlers threatening blitz and bring the blitz. Kendall, boy, hit as he released that football, and that pass is going to be caught downfield by number 19, and they may get a Rattler for pass interference.
Yeah, it's going to be pass interference. as Terry Johnson reached out and grabbed the defender. Kendall got hit, Keith, as soon as he threw the ball basically up in the air. But I think Terry Johnson must have lost sight of it. Didn't want the touchdown on him, so he grabs on. They'll probably decline the penalty and take the play.
Yeah, Darren Bullock is the man who made the catch for North Carolina A&T, and that's going to give the Aggies a first down at their own 34-yard line. So Kendall, boy, delivered a pass even as he was being hit, and the Aggies pick up a big first down. First and 10 at their own 34. Kendall again. Twin receivers to the far boundary. Isolate a receiver over here to the near side. That's Thomas Williams. Two backs in the backfield for A&T. 6:46 to play in the third. And they give it to, is that Mayhew?
Mayhew on the carry.
Mayhew. Yeah, and
short gain, though.
Patrick Scott again on the tackle from his nose guard spot.
Yeah, they're going to credit him with no gain. Second down and 10 for A&T. Kendall, again, two-back set. Twins to the far boundary. Isolation over here to the near side again is Thomas Williams, the isolated receiver. At 6:14, clock is ticking. 6-3, the Aggies lead here in the third quarter. And Kendall gives it again to Mayhew, but this time there is absolutely nowhere for him to go. Brandon Denmark leading the Rattler charge, but a host of white jerseys on the tackle. He's going to lose at least a yard or two on the play. It's going to make it third down and about 10 or 11 to go now for A&T.
Yep, two of the best defenses in the conference going at it right now, Keith, and it's taking a toll on both offenses. Not a touchdown has been scored in 2.5 quarters of play.
All right, Twins to either side again. Stacked receivers for Lewis Kendall. Kendall's hit's going to be sacked. Boy, the Rattlers have been bringing that pressure. That time we get to him, and leading the charge is big number 64 for FAMU.
I think that's 54. I think,
Brandon Davis.
And also Brandon
Denmark. And, boy, they have been wreaking havoc with that offensive line of North Carolina A&T. That time they get to Kendall and drop him for a big loss. And it's going to bring up fourth down and about 19 to go now for A&T.
Yeah, Raleigh.
Yeah. With Samaglia on the punt. The Rattlers trying to get a return on. This is Linworth Lennon.
Boy, Linworth's got to field that football.
And he is going to field it. But he lost about 10 yards before he decided to pick it up.
Yeah, and gains most of it back. So he should have probably caught the ball right around where he is right now.
Yeah. So the Rattlers are going to start first and 10 from our own 27-yard line.
A fast-moving ball game as both teams are running. Not a lot of scores. Already down to 4:52 in the third quarter. 10-10 to score, Keith. Bethune-Cookman and Morgan State.
Up in Baltimore. That's a big football game going on.
Yeah, we've got the officials now. Let's see what happened on that play.
Today's game is brought to you in part by the News and Record. Information that enriches life. Knowledge that elevates it. News and Record for your life.
I think they're saying, Keith, he may have called for a fair catch and then ran with the football. So they're going to move it back to the 21-yard line.
Yeah, and that's where the Rattlers will begin first and 10. 4:52 to go in the third quarter. 6-3 the Aggies lead. And it is Tyler Bass back in at quarterback now for the Rattlers. Spelling Damian Fleming after Tyler was injured. But Tyler's right back in there. Play action. Looking to pass. And Tyler now has pressure and sails this pass out of bounds. It'll be second down and 10 for the Rattlers.
Yeah, good play by Taylor as he got outside the pocket and able to throw it out of bounds. Don't get the penalty there. It'll be second down and 10 again. Tough, hard-hitting, defensive. If you like defensive football, you love the game today. Not a lot of offense at all.
Rattlers going to send Dwayne Harvey now and Adamson Felix to the far boundary. Over here to the near side is Travis Harvey and Linworth Lennon. And in the backfield, it's Eddie Rocker And Tyler Bass throws this one out here for Travis Harvey, who makes the catch at about the 28, 29-yard line. And it's going to bring up 3rd down and 2 for a Rattler first down. Gain of 8, 3rd and 2.
Yeah, Donald Maddox on that play, 5'9", 170-pounder from Burlington, North Carolina. Big play right here, 3rd down and 2. 4:27 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Rattlers trying to get something started here, trailing 6-3.
Again, the Rattlers go to the spread formation with twin receivers to either side, and the Rocket Man in the backfield on 3rd and 2. We throw the out here for...
That's Travis Harvey.
No, Dwayne Harvey.
Dwayne Harvey that time.
And
makes the catch.
Looks like he makes the catch, and that'll move the chains, give the Rattlers a first down at our own 34-yard line. Again, we're moving left to right, but it's a first down for the Rattlers at our own 34.
Yeah, Rattler defense has kept them in the ball game here, holding the Aggies to a couple of field goals, trying to give the offense a chance to get moved. We had one good drive at the end of the half and seem to be starting up another one right here.
All right, Rattlers again go spread with Eddie Rocker in the backfield. And this time, Tyler Bass gives it to Eddie, and Eddie fights his way to across the 35 out to about the 36-yard line. That's a gain of 2. 2nd down and 8 for a Rattler first down.
Yeah.
Well, they're going to move it back to the 35, so he only gained 1, 2nd and 9.
Yeah, I want to send a shout to the Reedus family, Cheryl and Gabby, Keisha Bethay, suspect, who was not at the was he at the press conference Tuesday?
No, he was not at the press conference Tuesday.
Got to find out what he's up to.
2nd down and 9 to go.
Dr. Martin.
Dr. Martin. He'll be at homecoming, I'm sure. All right, here we go. Rattlers go spread formation once again. Tyler Bass. Play action, fires this pass. It's caught. And down is Lenworth Lennon at about the 41-yard line. It's going to bring up 3rd down and about 3 to go for a Rattler first down.
Yeah, Lenworth having a big afternoon, Keith. 7 catches so far. And, boy, lots of small numbers coming on the field for the A&T Aggies as they put their dime defense in the game.
Yeah, Mike, for Tyler Bass not having that many reps in game situations, he's having a pretty good afternoon.
Yeah, and he may, Keith, look for him to be able to run for this first down if it breaks down early. They're only going to come with a 3-man rush.
Rattlers go empty backfield, and Tyler lays the slant out here. It's caught by Lenworth Lennon. And he was pushed his forward progress.
Boy, he's getting a terrible. Yeah, if the spot's up at the 45-yard line. I saw the linesman trying to move back, but that was his forward progress, and that's going to be another Rattler first down.
Another first down for the Rattlers. Give Tyler Bass some credit too, Mike. He had pressure coming and just really went to his first outlet, which was Lenworth Lennon, who made the catch and moves the chain.
Yeah, they came with a blitz off the slot, and he went right where the blitz came from and completes that for the first down. And we've got a drive going. 2:08 now remaining in the 3rd.
Rattlers with a first down at our own 45-yard line. Tyler Bass's pass incomplete. The Aggies trying to say Tyler, well, it was intentional grounding as he had tremendous pressure.
Yeah, there was nobody over there, but I think Tyler was outside
the tackle box.
The tackle box and was able to just throw it away. Oh, boy, they're going to throw a late flag.
Now Tyler pleading his case to the referee, but they are going to call him for intentional grounding.
Intentional grounding call against Florida A&M.
Boy, that's a loss of down penalty.
Loss of down as well.
So now that's going to make it 2nd down and long yardage.
I want to say hi to my godbrother, Ebenezer Oriaku, who is listening down in Tallahassee today, chairman of the FAMU Athletic Committee.
2nd down.
It's going to make it 2nd down. And about 20 to go for a Rattler first down with the ball back at our own 35-yard line now with 1:55 to play here in the 3rd quarter.
The explanation has been given to Coach Taylor, and it looks like we're ready for play.
It was a late flag after the A&T coaching staff did some lobbying for the intentional grounding. This pass is caught by Lenworth Lennon, and Lenworth is going to be forced out of bounds on the far side.
Pass is complete to Linworth Lennon.
Yeah, going to gain about 5. Still going to be third down and long yardage here. Rattlers have to get all the way down to the 46-yard line of A&T. And right now they're at their own 39.
Yeah, third down and 15 to go now for FAMU.
Got to throw something downfield here.
Yeah. Minute 25 to play now in the third quarter. 6-3, the Aggies lead. And as Mike said, it's been a defensive struggle here all afternoon in Greensboro. Tyler Bass sets up, runs the draw play to Eddie Rocker, and Eddie fights his way.
Oh, it's still going.
It looks like he's got the first down, but there's a penalty marker thrown on the play.
Late flag down, but he fought for the first down. The penalty marker is down on the play. Great run that time, Keith. They ran a little delay. They faked the bubble screen, handed it to Rocker on the delay, and he did a tremendous job of keeping his balance and fighting forward. Actually got the first down. But there was a penalty flag down at about midfield. Boy, they're going to get him for a low block. Blocking below the waist is going to be the call. Boy, that's another 15-yard penalty.
Yeah, they're going to call it on Linworth Lennon. And that's going to negate the Rattlers getting the first down.
Well, the rule is, Keith, if you're a receiver, you can't come to the inside and block below the waist. If you come down to the inside, you got to keep it above. I think Linworth cut him down. He was just inside him, but that's still the rule, and the Rattlers get backed up again.
So now it's third down, and once again, 20 yards to go for a Rattler first down. Third and about 21 this time. Tyler Bass and the Rattlers run the draw play, but this time the Aggies come up to stop it. It's going to bring up fourth down for the Rattlers, and Brandon Holdren and the Rattler punt unit will check on.
Yep, in the third quarter, quickly running out. This has just been a field position, hard-hitting defensive kind of game. Rattlers without their starting quarterback for most of the afternoon. A&T has gone through a couple of quarterbacks, neither one really effective. It's going to come down to the fourth quarter.
All right, Brandon Holdren is on the punt. And it will be Devontae Graham deep to receive for North Carolina A&T.
I think they're going to let the clock run out.
And that's going to be the end of the third quarter without score. North Carolina A&T 6, FAMU 3. We'll be back after these words from our local sponsors on the Rattler Sports Network.
Introducing a mobile application that could open up an entire new world for the orange and green faithful, with the ability to check out the latest in-campus news, events, athletic scores, and much, much more. Specifically designed for the FAMU. Whether it's linking to your class courses from your mobile device, looking through maps to find specific buildings on campus, or just having some fun looking through uploaded videos and photos, a great addition to your mobile FAMU student lifestyle. Get your FAMU app today.
Holdren is on the punt as we begin the fourth quarter here in Greensboro, North Carolina. North Carolina A&T 6, FAMU 3. Rattlers will be moving right to left as we start this fourth and final quarter.
It's football season, Rattler fans.
There's a penalty marker on the play.
Yep, point both, and looks like they were going to call some kind of illegal procedure, as a couple of Aggies actually jumped into the neutral zone. And one of the Rattlers ultimately flinched. So right now they're trying to see who they're going to call this, whether an offside against the defense or a procedure against the Rattlers.
And it's going to be procedure against the Rattlers.
Yeah, Devontae Graham lined up at about his own 25-yard line to receive this punt. Again, had a 108-yard field goal return last week. It's a little tougher against the punt unit. The field goal team is usually a lot of big guys, and once you get started, you can outrun most of them.
Holdren awaits the snap. Gets off an end over it. He shanked it. And, boy, this one, boy, is going to roll forward and be down at the Aggies.
Oh, and a penalty flag comes out against, this is going to be against the Aggies. They were mauling Antoine Matthews over here on the near hash mark. that may be a play that's going to back them up after, and they're going to keep possession of the football.
Well, there's a huddle among the officials.
Yeah, after 3 quarters of play, the Rattlers have 11 first downs. The Aggies only 6. Rattlers run the ball 24 times for 60 yards. The Aggies have run 22 times for 66 yards. Tyler Bass right now 19 of 26 for 132 yards. Between Quick and Kendall, they are 4 of 7 for 59 yards.
Yeah, unsportsmanlike conduct is the call against.
It's got to be against the Aggies.
A&T.
Well, it doesn't look like they got much of a mark off. It should have been from the point of the ball was stopped, not from the point of the penalty.
I don't understand. They didn't waive the penalty. It looks like he called it unsportsmanlike conduct, but the Aggies are going to start at their own 44-yard line. There was no assessment on that.
You don't really get that enforcement.
And they throw the bubble screen out here. Eludes one Rattler.
Yeah, we got a hold on the receiver out there on that play. So that'll back them up. They grabbed a hold of Devontae Terry Johnson.
Yeah, the pass was complete out here.
Pass is complete to number 23, Marquise Gorham.
To Gorham, but that holding call is going to back the Aggies up.
Yep. Remember, folks, next week is homecoming. And, of course, activities will get underway starting probably tomorrow night.
Starting yesterday.
Boy, now they waved the flag off. And it's a penalty against the Rattlers.
Wow.
So after the pass, it'll be 2nd and 1 for the Aggies.
Oh, they're going to give them credit for the play and not call the holding and make it 2nd down and 1 for North Carolina A&T. Play action. This is Quayshawn Quick. He keeps, and Quick has the first down, as it is Devin Roberts who comes up to make the stop for FAMU. And it looks like Bobby Jackson was also on the play. And so an Aggie.
Yeah, Aggie's trying to add to their 6-3 lead as they have now driven down inside the Rattler 45-yard line.
Yeah, on this penalty-aided drive.
Yeah, very much a penalty-aided drive so far.
All right, Aggie sent a man in motion, and they hand it off to the running back. Let's see, was that Mayhew?
Actually, it looked like may have been Ricky Lewis.
It was Ricky Lewis who carried the football, takes it inside the Rattler 40-yard line down to the 39. So that's a gain of about 4. 2nd down and 6 to go for a Aggie, that is, first down.
Quarterback now looking to the sideline. Quick, who's back in now, quarterback replacing Kendall.
Yeah, and Lewis in the backfield with twins. And this time he gives it to Lewis. And Brandon Hepburn's going to make the stop at about the Rattler 35-yard line. So it's going to bring up 3rd down and about 2 to go for A&T. And now a late penalty marker is thrown.
Yeah, it's been a penalty marred last few minutes here. This time the call is against Terry Johnson.
Yeah, the problem with that, it's a 15-yard mark-off and an automatic first down. So they would have had the football at about the Rattler 35-yard line. Now they're going to have it at the Rattler 20-yard line. So this penalty-aided drive continues to be aided with penalties at the Rattler 20. That's the red zone, and the Aggies get there with 3 big penalties on this drive. Here we go. Quayshawn Quick sends a man in motion. Keeps. And Quick is going to be hit and dropped. Looks like Patrick Scott on the stop for the Rattlers.
Quayshawn Quick on the carry. Gain is down to the FAMU 19-yard line. Patrick Scott on the tackle.
Clock under 13 minutes now at 12:23. Second down and 8.
Yep, ball's inside the Rattler 20 now at the 19. And here we go, quick this time. Boy, that's a great tackle.
Patrick Scott.
Patrick Scott, who busted up the play and just tossed Ricky Lewis.
Boy, and now another late flag comes in.
Flag.
No gain on the play.
Yeah, I mean, all the yards that have been gained on this drive has been some kind of penalty against the Rattlers.
And the Aggies are pointing against the Rattlers again.
Hey, guys, and just to give you a bird's eye view of what's going on down here on the field, man, the coaches are pretty much on the field giving this sideline ref an earful.
Wow, another personal foul against Terry Johnson.
And just to give you another quick update, what the ref over here on the sideline is saying, pretty much saying that your ref in the end zone has been warning Terry about something that's going on in the field.
Wow, second down now and 3 for the Aggies with the ball resting inside the Rattler 15-yard line. And they throw a pass intended for, looks like the tight end.
Third down.
Yeah, try to throw a little fade pass in the corner. Terry Johnson with tremendous coverage.
Yeah, it's going to bring up third down and 3 now for A&T. Ball's resting at the Rattler 13-yard line. And once again, we've got to say it, this drive has been penalty aided all the way down the field.
4 15-yard penalties on this one drive.
All right, Quayshawn Quick with an I formation this time. And they toss it out here to Mayhew. And Mayhew is going to fall forward. Let's see if he's going to get enough for the first down.
Mike Mayhew on the carry.
It's going to be close. They may have to bring the chains in. They got it at third down right now, but it's going to be close.
They're saying now it's going to be fourth down and short for A&T. Fourth down and 1. Ball resting at the Rattler 11-yard line.
Huge play right here. 11 minutes to go in the ball game.
Quayshawn Quick under center. And now another penalty.
Yeah, I think this time it's got to be movement against the Aggies here. And they're already sending their field goal team on the field.
Illegal procedure is the call against A&T. So Zach Samaglia checks on to attempt a field goal. And this will be, looks like a 33-yard field goal attempt from the left hash mark.
To attempt a 33-yard field goal.
Quayshawn Quick will hold for A&T. Here's a snap and placement. And the kick is on the way. And it's good. And so with 10:39 to play, Samaglia, accounting for all of A&T's points this afternoon, has kicked his third field goal of the afternoon with 10:38 to play. And we'll be back after these words from our network sponsors on the Rattler Sports Network.
Introducing a mobile application that can open up an entire new world for the orange and green faithful, with the ability to check out the latest in-campus news, events, athletic scores, and much, much more. Specifically designed for the FAMU. Whether it's linking to your class courses from your mobile device, looking through maps to find specific buildings on campus, or just having some fun looking through uploaded videos and photos, a great addition to your mobile FAMU student lifestyle. Get your FAMU app today.
Zach Samaglia increases its lead to 6 points, 9-3, and here comes Camacho to kick it off. A short high end over end kick. Going to be fielded by James Owens at the 15-20. And Owens going to go down at the 25, maybe the 26-yard line. We'll see where they spot the football. But the Rattlers begin 1st and 10 from there. Mike, that last drive by North Carolina A&T, 4 15-yard penalties.
And they were still held to a field goal.
And the Rattler defense holds on and only gives up 3 points.
Yeah, got to give the defense big ups on that for holding them to that field goal and keeping the Rattlers right there where a touchdown wins the game.
All right, Tyler Bass and the Rattlers set to go. It's going to be twin receivers to the far boundary. Now here comes Linworth Lennon in motion, and he'll line up in the slot over here with Travis Harvey. And Bass fires over the middle. That pass is picked off at the 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Touchdown, A&T. And so Devontae Grant picks off the Tyler Bass pass and returns it 34 yards for a touchdown. And the Aggies have the only touchdown on the afternoon.
Actually, Keith, there's a penalty marker at about the 10-yard line. I don't know if that was thrown before he went in or afterwards, but there is a penalty marker at about the 11. And again, a conference of the officials, they might call it off, so we got to hold on. $10:20 remaining in the game. Devontae Grant picks that pass off. So now let's see. Looks like they're going to count it. No, it is going to be a
touchdown for North Carolina A&T.
Makes the score now 15-3.
And Samaglia on to attempt a point after. And it will be Quayshawn Quick who will hold. And here's the snap placement. Kick is airborne and good. And so with 10:20 to play here in the fourth quarter, North Carolina A&T takes a 16-3 lead over FAMU, and we'll be back after these words from our local sponsors on the Rattler Sports Network.
Introducing a mobile application that could open up an entire new world for the orange and green faithful, with the ability to check out the latest in-campus news, events, athletic scores, and much, much more. Specifically designed for the FAMU. Whether it's linking to your class courses from your mobile device, looking through maps to find specific buildings on campus, or just having some fun looking through uploaded videos and photos, a great addition to your mobile FAMU student lifestyle. Get your FAMU app today.
All right, North Carolina A&T's Devontae Grant returns the Tyler Bass interception, about 34 yards for the touchdown, and Samaglia adds the extra point, and the Aggies lead now 16-3 with 10:20 to play here in the ball game. And this is Devin Roberts who scoops up the kick and returns it out to about the 45-yard line. That's a good-looking return for the Rattlers.
Yeah, the ball was kicked off that time from the 20-yard line. They squib kicked it. The Rattlers are going to start with good field position. 10-13 to go in the ball game. Rattlers still with a chance, but boy, the offense has got to get started.
Yeah. They're going to spot it at the 44-yard line. Rattlers moving right to left with 10 minutes and 13 seconds remaining in the ball game, trailing 16-3.
Boy, the Rattlers come out looking a little confused. Only 7 seconds now as the play clock starts to run down.
Tyler Bass's pass is caught by Travis Harvey, but Travis actually might caught the pass on his knees, and so that stops the play right there. So a loss of 1 and make it 2nd down and 11 to go for a Rattler first down.
Yeah, Rattlers have got to get some more of downfield passes, Keith, something going vertical if they're going to get back at this ball game as the clock now goes under 10 minutes.
Bass this time going to send triplets to the near boundary. It's Dwayne Harvey, Addison Felix, and Linworth Lennon. And isolate Travis Harvey to the far side. That pass intended for Linworth Lennon, and it's incomplete. And it's going to make it 3rd down and 11 now for the Rattlers of FAMU.
It's going to be 3rd and long. Got to throw it past the sticks, though. And again, 6 defensive backs are going to be on the field for A&T, and they've been coming with just a 3-man rush.
All right, here we go. Tyler Bass and the Rattlers in a spread with Rocker in the backfield. And Tyler Bass trying to buy some time, pulls it down, and he's going to be hit and dropped. And it's going to bring up 4th down. Gets a yard, but it's going to be 4th down and 10 for the Rattlers.
I want to say, Keith, we saw a couple of buses coming up, and on the other side, a nice little grouping of orange and green over there. Hadn't mentioned them. A couple of Buffaloes of Rattler fans. It's going to be 4th down. Punting team is on, and the clock continues to run.
Devontae Graham retreats deep for A&T. Brandon Holdren on the punt for the Rattlers. And again, Brandon shanks this one. And A&T is going to have good field position.
You know, Coach always talks about 3 phases. 2 phases have broken down today, the kicking game and the offense. Only the defense has played well. The defense has only given up 3 field goals. But it seems like it may not be enough. They're going to spot this ball way out at the 44 of A&T, so they're starting in great field position.
.8:41 to go in the ball game. A&T 16, FAMU 3. And the Aggies now.
Already a run-heavy team. You better believe they're going to try to work on that clock.
Yeah, Mike Mayhew in the backfield with Quayshawn Quick. And penalty markers are thrown. Illegal procedure is going to be the call against A&T.
Calling on the slot receiver over there, number 19.
That's Darren Bullock. All right, Aggies set to go now 1st and 15. They give it to Mike Mayhew, and boy, he stopped in his tracks.
Frank Mays along with Patrick Scott again. Going to hold him to about a 1-yard gain.
Short gain on the play. Francis Mays on the tackle. 2nd down.
2nd down and 15 to go for A&T from their own 40-yard line. Moving left to right with 8:10 to play now in the ball game, and A&T holding a 16-3 lead over FAMU. 2 backs for Quayshawn Quick, and they give it to Mayhew, and Mayhew fights his way across the 45, the original line of scrimmage, out to about the 46, maybe the 47-yard line. It's going to bring up 3rd down and about 8 to go for A&T.
Yep. Clock running down now. Rattlers need to hold right here so they can get the football back. As the clock now down to 7 minutes and 30 seconds.
Aggies isolate a receiver, and now he's coming in motion. But they give it to Mayhew once again, and boy, Mayhew powers his way down inside the Rattler 45 to the 44, and guess what? That's going to move the chains for A&T.
That's going to be a 1st down, and that's going to allow them to burn at least a couple more minutes off the clock. Little pistol formation this time.
Yep, they go to the pistol. Quayshawn Quick and Mike Mayhew. Quick from the gun now. And Quick on run the option play, keeps it on the quarterback option, and boy, he's going to be slammed to the turf by Frank Mays.
Yeah, give Brandon Denmark some credit for playing that option over there. Forced him to have to keep it. Got some MEAC scores at halftime. It's Bethune-Cookman 10, Morgan State 10. That's up in Baltimore. Sorry, but actually with 2 minutes to go in the game, Bethune-Cookman has taken a 17-13 lead over Morgan State. It's a final in D.C. It's Howard 20, Hampton 10. 11 minutes to go in the 3rd. It's North Carolina Central 17, Delaware State 10.
All right, here we go. Aggies on a 2nd down and 9. Play action. Quayshawn Quick pulls it down. He's going to run, and Quick's going to have a 1st down all the way down to the Rattler. It looks like 32, maybe 33-yard line, but it'll move the chains and keep the clock ticking against the Rattlers with 6:06 to play.
First down.
Aggies go Twins to the far boundary this time. They isolate a receiver over here to the near side with two backs. It's Bradford and Mayhew. Put the ball at the Rattler 33, moving left to right. And they go Twins. They give it to Mike Mayhew, and boy, a big hole right up the middle. And Mayhew takes it down to about the 21-yard line, and that's another Aggie first down.
Yeah, the Aggies putting together their best drive of the afternoon, Keith.
Is down to the Rattler 22.
As the ball down near the 22-yard line now.
First down.
5 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in the ball game, and the Aggies continue to move the ball and take ticks off the clock. Quayshawn Quick again to Mayhew, and again another hole. And Mayhew down inside the 15 to about the 14-yard line. And that's going to be about a 9-yard pickup on first down. Second down and maybe about a yard and a half. Well, they're going to give him 8 yards, 2nd and 2 for A&T. 4:43 to go now in the ball game. And Quayshawn Quick and the Aggies.
Yep, continuing to work on the clock.
And Quick this time gives to Mayhew once again, but this time there's nowhere for him to go as Patrick Scott busts up that play along with number 57, William Smalls. And it's going to bring up third down now and 2 for A&T.
They continue to work on the clock as it goes down under 4 minutes now.
All right, Quayshawn Quick gives it to Mayhew, who stumbles coming out of the backfield, but finds his balance enough to take it down inside the 10-yard line and sets the Aggies up with a first down and goal to go from the Rattler 9-yard line.
Yeah, this Rattler defense, which has not given up a touchdown all day, playing a little disheartened at this point right now as the Aggies putting together their best drive of the afternoon. 3.5 minutes to go now. And taking every tick off that play clock. How the A&T Aggies as it's down now to only 10 seconds.
Want to say hi to Sylvia and Dawn Smith down in Boynton Beach tuning in this afternoon. And Quayshawn Quick keeps. And Quayshawn, boy, did a ball popped out? The Rattlers say they have recovered. Let's see.
Yep, the side judge has said that it was a recovery, so let's see. Saw the beanbag come out.
And the Rattlers have recovered. And so the Aggie drive is halted on the fumble and fumble recovery.
Yes, quick second fumble of the afternoon as he was fighting for extra yardage. The ball comes out and the Rattlers will take over. And the defense still hasn't given up a touchdown this afternoon. Although we trail 16-3. 2:59 to go in the ball game. Rattlers needing 2 scores. Down 13 points.
So after the fumble, it'll be 1st and 10, Florida A&M. Ball on the FAMU 6.
All right, Rattlers going to take over 1st and 10 at our own 6-yard line. Tyler Bass spreads the formation and then gives to
Rocker on the carry.
Eddie Rocker. Not much there.
Chris Neal on the tackle. 2nd down.
Yeah, no gain on the play. 2nd down and 10 for the Rattlers with 2:38 to play. in the ball game. Tyler Bass sets up, fires. That pass is caught by Travis Harvey.
Yeah, it's going to be a first down.
Bass's pass is complete. It's number 2, Travis Harvey. Gain is up to the 17. It'll be 1st and 10, Florida A&M.
Rattlers with the first down at our own 17-yard line, moving right to left. And Tyler Bass, the Rattler offense, fires over the middle. That pass is caught.
It's Adamson Felix.
Adamson Felix.
Complete to number 83, and Mason Felix. Gain of 4 to play.
And Adamson picks up 4, make it 2nd down and 6 for the Rattlers from our own 22 with 1:50 to play. Tyler Bass pulls it down, and Tyler's going to be thrown for a tackle for loss. Bass hooks up with Travis Harvey, gets the Rattlers a first down at our own 35, and now Bass fires again. This pass caught over the middle, but again a short pass. The Rattlers need to go vertical with only 1:15 to play in the ball game and trailing 16-3.
Gain is up to the 40. 2nd down.
Gain of about 4 yards, 2nd down and 6 for a Rattler first down. Triplets now to the near boundary and isolate Travis Harvey to the far side. This pass is in and out of the hands of Adamson Felix. And it's going to bring up 3rd down now for the Rattlers and 6 to go.
Adamson Felix, Keith, one of the most improved offensive players on the football team. There really was wasn't playing at all, and really has become a staple of our 4-wide formation.
Well, our players of the game will be Linworth Lennon, who I think has well over 7 passes caught this afternoon, and Patrick Scott, our defensive player of the game. This is Eddie Rocker, and Eddie's going to fight his way to the 45-yard line, but it's going to bring up 4th down and 1 for the Rattlers with 42 seconds to play in the ball game. And our special teams player of the game will be Chase Varnador, who has our only points on the board today with his field goal of 19 yards. Tyler Bass sets up, and Tyler keeps, and he picks up the first down. That'll stop the clock momentarily with 24.6 seconds remaining.
Yeah, Rattlers with some time to throw a couple of Hail Marys down into the end zone, see what happens.
Tyler Bass from the gun, sets up, fires downfield. That pass is caught by Dwayne Harvey, who goes out of bounds, and he's real close to the first down marker.
Yeah, 8 seconds to go.
But they're not going to give him the first down. It'll be 2nd down and 1.
Yeah, I actually think he went out of bounds and stopped the clock.
8.8 seconds remaining in the ball game, and Tyler Bass sets up, and that pass is caught by Linworth Lennon, and Linworth solidifies his offensive player of the game with that catch, and that's going to be the end of the ball game with our score. North Carolina A&T 16, FAMU 3. We'll be back with our Visit Tallahassee Rattler wrap-up show after these words from our local sponsors on the Rattler Sports Network.
The Rattler Booster program supports all athletic programs at the university. Join the Rattler Booster Club. It's not too late.
Side, and Tyler blitz coming, steps up in the pocket, pulls it down. He's going to run. He's got a lane, and Tyler Bass is nearly close to that first down marker, Mike, as he slides.
Hit and drop. Woo! Looking to pass again. Brown is got him. Sacked! Pulls it now. Shoots across the middle. Touchdown, Famu! Right on the money, and the Rattlers are back. Flushed out of the pocket. Rattlers have a spot. Can we make the tackle? We do. Fires toward the end zone. This one is picked off. That's around the first down. Move those chains. Touchdown, Famu. Down to the 5-yard line. Move those chains. It's the first down for Florida A&M. It's fired. It's picked off. The Rattlers with 45 seconds left have shut the door.
Hello and welcome to the Coach Joe Taylor Show. I'm Keith Miles, your host, along with the head Rattler Coach Joe Taylor. And Coach, we begin in Greensboro with some big news that you announced to the football team this morning at breakfast before the North Carolina A&T game.
Well, as I told them, back in 1972, we walked the sidelines for the first time. And I asked them, well, how many years do you think that is? And they threw out some numbers, but we let them know 40 years. And what a blessing it's been. You know, the accomplishments, the lives that's been touched. My life has been touched in a dear way. And it's been really a Hall of Fame career. But again, my wife and I talked about this last Christmas around the table, and we knew that 40 was going to be the magic number. And when we talked about it, that's when we embarked on a book project. The book was started back in January, and it finished in May. And it'll be out Thanksgiving, and we'll go and promote it. And but again, it's been an outstanding career.
Back to the football game today, Coach. As we were coming into the stadium, I got a chance to talk with Robert Okaffer, an outstanding offensive lineman for us, and now a graduate assistant coach. And I said, Robert, you know, how did the players take the news? And he said, you know, all of the players understand what Coach Taylor has meant to college football, and they want to get these last 3 wins for him to make it 236. And I thought that was just a great response from one of your former players, but also about this team.
Well, we've always tried to do it the right way, and really that's what the book is about. We just really went back and interviewed about 20 guys that have been in the program, and all they could talk about was they're where they are because of the experience. And we've always done it the right way, and that's why we're going to leave, because when you can't do it the right way, you know, you shouldn't be in it. And, you know, 40 is 40. I need to go somewhere and get a real good pedicure.
Well, the Rattlers fell to North Carolina A&T 16-3 here in Greensboro and Aggie Stadium. And we'll come back and take a look at first half highlights after this timeout on the Coach Joe Taylor Show. Stay with us.
I'm Mickey Clayton, Executive Director of the Rattler Booster Club. The Rattler Booster Club contributed $591,000 to the athletic department of Florida A&M University. Some of the things we were able to purchase this year was the Jumbotron, and we assisted with the scoreboard and the Al Lawson Center, and golf carts for our seasoned Rattler Booster supporters, pitching machine for the baseball team, the shooting machine for the basketball team. So the Rattler Booster program supports all athletic programs. Join the Booster Club. Call the Rattler Booster office at 850-224-6093. It's not.
You've been involved in an accident? You feel like today is going to be a bad day? You have headaches, neck pain, back pain? Well, call us here at Tallahassee Accident and Rehab, where we have your neck and your back. Call me, Dr. Ways, at Tallahassee Accident and Rehab. We're located at 1711 South Gaston Street. Tallahassee Accident and Rehab, your local accident doctors. Call us at Tallahassee Accident and Rehab, where you control your case. We got your neck and your back.
The Flavor Station always represent that real hip hop and R&B. Sean D is in the building to that 7 o'clock hour.
Welcome back to the Coach Joe Taylor Show. Coach, it's always tough to play in Aggie Stadium. We're shooting the show today, though, on the top deck of a brand new press box, and obviously they invested some money in upgrading their facility, and it's a fantastic new press box for North Carolina A&T.
Well, again, it's happening throughout the conference. You know, people are finding ways to put things together to enhance your recruiting. And I don't know if there's a campus in the conference that has not done some type of upgrade. And as you say, this is NFL style, and this is really outstanding, and it really helps when it comes to your recruiting.
Yeah, the Aggies were under Coach Rod Broadway certainly improving. They're getting there. They're moving in the right direction, and they have two outstanding quarterbacks. One in Quayshawn Quick, the freshman, and also Lewis Kendall. And we got a chance to see both of them play here today.
Yeah, but I really thought our defense really played well enough for us to win because they gave up 3 field goals. In fact, one of the field goals was because of a blocked punt that we gave up. So the defense, I mean, they played extremely hard. Now, offensively is where I thought again, you know, Damian Fleming, we know he's the heart and soul of this offense, and when he's not on the field, I just don't know how much life or energy the other guys have. Plus, we got a little bit younger again, Zeri Patterson, been starting as a freshman at the right tackle all year, but Bryce Hall had to come in because you know, Patterson has a bad shoulder. So, you know, because really, as well as I think this team, A&T, has improved, that's really a game that we should have won, hands down.
All right, Coach, let's go to first half highlights. The Rattlers are going to win the toss and elect to receive the opening kickoff. And here we go. We're going to pull this out of the end zone. This is James Owens. And we're going to go to work on offense. And it was Tyler Bass, who had not had that much game experience and that many reps. But for the most part, on this day, Coach, he kind of held his own, got off to a rough start there.
Well, you know, here's a guy 4'3", but he's not running. That should be no question a touchdown. And I thought Bass had a lot of time to throw the football. But, you know, you got to still connect. You got to make sure that you're doing some things, you know, to connect with open receivers. Now, receivers got to run too.
Yeah. So we had the block punt and set A&T up deep in our with great field position, but the defense rises to the occasion and they only get 3 points out of this.
Only get 3, because again, I thought it was a great game planned by Coach Holmes and the defensive staff. I thought the defensive guys played with a lot of energy, but again, you can't just show up with one phase of the game, because I thought special teams and offense really just didn't perform well.
All right, here we go. Rattlers going to go back on offense here, and this is good kick coverage by A&T. The Rattlers, though, Coach, lead the MEAC in kick coverage all season long. We're going to see some outstanding FAMU kick coverage a little later in the highlights.
Yeah, but again, you know, we got speed back there. You got to run. I just don't know, again, you know, we just got to figure out a way to see if we can't get our starter back for these last 2 ball games, because, you know, Bass does a good job, but there's a reason, you know, he's the backup. And, you know, there's certain times in there I just thought that, you know, we didn't have the energy, because as the leader out there, you know, they're going to follow your lead. And, you know, you got to have some energy. You got to be in and out the huddle. You got to show some enthusiasm.
Here's some great gang tackling here. Coach Rattlers getting to the football, and the defense once again had an outstanding day. Terry Johnson here on the great breakup on that slant, and the Aggies come down and get another field goal, 6-0 at this point in the ball game.
Yeah, and again, I'm just can't say enough about the defense and their play, but you know, we have speed, but we just got to find a way to. And then two, as I said earlier, excuse me, I thought that the defense, I mean, our offensive line, even though it's young, they gave Bass enough time to throw the football. But again, you just got to put the energy in it, and you got to. A couple times I thought we had some out routes that were there, and you know, you just got to lead the guy. But the ball was a little bit thrown behind our receivers. But you know, we did put together a nice drive just before the half to go down, and you know, Probably should have went for it, but you know, you're trying to get on the board before halftime.
Right. Right. All right, here we go. This is A&T, and this is once again great. Brandon Denmark, coach, had a big day. Patrick Scott had a big day. Defensively, the Rattlers held North Carolina A&T to like 202 yards of total offense. So certainly there was enough there for us to produce on the other end to get the victory.
They had a winning performance from a defensive standpoint. You know, again, you just give up 9 points. That's an outstanding day from a defensive standpoint. But, you know, again, we just got to, you know, and it was there because they actually, you know, they didn't do anything different, cover 5, cover 4, and and those cutbacks, we weren't patient enough with the running backs because for the most part it's a stretch zone, which means be patient, let them overrun it, and cut it back. Now, we did get better at it as the game went on, but early on we were just running to the stretch side. But here again, we're still making some moves here, and I think this is actually the drive here, where we put it together and did a few things. And I kept telling the offensive line, though, sustain your blocks. We're blocking the right guy. We just got to sustain it. And this guy here, you know, he kept his hand in the ball, and that's intentional because he does stay with it. Sometimes I think maybe he danced a little bit too much. But, you know, really making some big plays for us to keep the drive alive.
Yeah, big day for Linworth, Coach. He had 10 catches on the afternoon. He was our offensive player of the game for his effort today.
Yeah. And see here, we're being patient, understanding where they are. See, that's good vision, and we're down. But see here, you know, because of the time on the clock, we decided just to go ahead and, you know, kick the field goal because, again, you just want to get off the field at half with some points on the board. But this is you know, we're just a hair short, you know. But after this, we got to kick it, and right now it's 6-3 at the half.
And that's where we stand at the half, Coach. 6-3. The Aggies up 2 field goals. We get a field goal. Great drive down the field. So there was still a lot of whole second half of football to be played, and there had to be some positive signs on this last drive right before the half.
Well, I was just telling them at the halftime that I thought the defense was playing extremely well. I did that we had some selfish acts in there where we had some, I thought, real silly penalties that you know, really kind of caused us to move backwards a little bit. But defensively, we're playing well. I thought the kickoffs were playing well from that phase of special teams. But because we made the drive down just before the half, it looked as though the offense was coming together as well. So we really still didn't have any idea that we wasn't going to pull this one out.
All right, Coach, we're going to come back and take a look at second half highlights of FAMU and North Carolina A&T after this timeout on the Coach Joe Taylor Show. Stay with us.
Rattler Booster program supports all athletic programs at the university. Join the Rattler Booster Club. It's not too late.
You've been involved in an accident? You feel like today is going to be a bad day? You have headaches, neck pain, back pain? Well, call us here at Tallahassee Accident and Rehab, where we have your neck and your back. Call me, Dr. Ways, at Tallahassee Accident and Rehab. We're located at 1711 South Gaston Street. Tallahassee Accident and Rehab, your local accident doctors. Call us at Tallahassee Accident and Rehab, where you control your case. We got your neck and your back.
Welcome back to the Coach Joe Taylor Show. Coach, it's 6-3 at the half as we get ready to go in the second half highlights, and we're going to kick the ball off to North Carolina A&T. And again, we had a great drive right before the half, and defense is playing well. So, you know, things are looking good as we go into the second half of play.
Yeah, it was. The only thing I was a little bit concerned with when we tried to tell Bass, listen, they're going to feed off of you. We need to see some more energy in and out the huddle. Show some enthusiasm, because the way you call the play will give the guys an idea whether or not it's a good play or not. Just the authoritative approach that you have. But kind of laid back, and but I still thought, again, we was going to get some things together and move the ball, and especially as well as the defense was playing.
But we're going to kick off to North Carolina A&T to start the second half, Coach. And once again, we're the best kick coverage team in the conference, and that's good kick coverage right there.
Well, yes, we got a great job by Devin Roberts, who's one of our better guys. He gets down the field, and they got, you know, real good speed.
All right, here we go. Rattlers on defense, and again, an outstanding defensive afternoon for the Rattler defense. Tyler gets hit as he delivers this football, and I think this one, Travis makes a great catch on the sideline.
Yeah, and he's we just, you know, we've been moving him around a little bit, but you know, when you don't have your normal trigger guy, you know, it makes a difference, and sometimes it's hard to understand that, but you know, when you've been out all summer throwing to a guy, and when part of that combination is not available, you know, it makes a difference. But overall, I thought that we still had some pretty good blocking by the offensive line, and that was the case. We put him in because Tyler kind of got the wind knocked out of him, and he couldn't hold the ball real good with his left arm, which let us know that you know, he still was having some issues with that left shoulder.
Great kick coverage there, and now we got him pinned down. Well, Coach, we thought we were going to get a safety here, but Lewis Kendall fought his way out of the end zone.
Yeah, right there to make a great play. And you know, I don't know, the only way I can see you not making that play, you close your eyes. But you know, don't take anything away from him, I guess. He made the play, and we just did not. We didn't wrap up. But you know, we're still coming. Now this one, he got hit. It bobbles, and I don't know what we are doing here to let the ball stay in the air that long, and we don't take it and run it in for a touchdown. But you know, that's the kind of you know, season we've been having. You know, it's the plays that we should make, we're just not making enough of them. And of course, and I don't talk a lot about the officiating, but you know, it's today was a little bit abnormal in my mind, because they were coming to me apologizing, but they never stopped doing it.
Yeah. Well, they had a drive where they had 4 15-yard penalties that moved them right down the field in the second half.
So, again, you know, it's just unfortunate, but I thought the defense kept fighting. Great throw. I mean, a good catch.
Yeah. Dwayne Harvey.
Yeah, he's doing a lot better for us there. You know, in fact, a couple of them a little high, but these receivers are catching the football.
Yeah, that's Linworth again. And again, he had 10 catches on the afternoon, Coach. A big day for Linworth Lennon.
But now here's a first down off of a draw play. Great effort. Then he said we blocked below the waist.
Yeah.
You know, we turn around here. That's an interception.
Yeah. That's Terry Johnson with that defensive play. Yeah. And then the Aggies come back. I think they get this is their 9th point here now. It's 9-6. And then the pickoff, and he's going to run this in. And this is going to be how they scored their touchdown. Again, the defense didn't give up any offensive touchdowns on the afternoon. So it was an outstanding performance by the defensive unit.
Yeah. Then a couple times, you know, Bass threw out of bounds, and as he threw out of bounds, they were he got I guess the sidelines told him that it was, you know, he was not out of the box, and it was intentional grounding. So 5 minutes later, he throws a flag. But again, defensively, we played well enough to win. Offensively, without the trigger man, we were just lifeless.
Yeah. 16-3, the final score. The Rattlers fall to North Carolina A&T. And Coach, as we go to break, we'll take a look at final statistics, and we'll come back and talk about the players of the game and a whole lot more. So stay with us on the Coach Joe Taylor Show.
been involved in an accident? You feel like today is going to be a bad day? You have headaches, neck pain, back pain? Well, call us here at Tallahassee Accident and Rehab, where we have your neck and your back. Call me, Dr. Ways, at Tallahassee Accident and Rehab. We're located at 1711 South Gaston Street. Tallahassee Accident and Rehab, your local accident doctors. Call us at Tallahassee Accident and Rehab, where you control your case. We got your neck and your back.
I'm Mickey Clayton, Executive Director of the Rattler Booster Club. The Rattler Booster Club contributed $591,000 to the athletic department of Florida A&M University. Some of the things we were able to purchase this year was the Jumbotron, and we assisted with the scoreboard in the Al Lawson Center, and golf carts for our seasoned Rattler Booster supporters, pitching machine for the baseball team, the shooting machine for the basketball team. So the Rattler Booster program supports all athletic programs. Join the Booster Club. Call the Rattler Booster office at 850-224-6093. It's not too late.
90.5, the Flavor Station, always represent that real hip hop and R&B. Sean D is in the building to that 7 o'clock hour.
Welcome back to the Coach Joe Taylor Show. Let's take a look at this week's players of the game. On offense, Coach, it's Linworth Lennon, 10 catches, 63 yards. His longest catch on the afternoon was for 14 yards. Linworth had a big afternoon here in Greensboro.
Yeah, well, you know, Travis Harvey certainly is better at the X receivers where he's just running a backside cut. But Linworth Lennon, he's just a shifty guy. He's a good slot guy. We put him in motion a lot. And he has great hands, but the good thing about it, usually the first guy is not going to bring him down. So, you know, he is very deserving of our MVP for this week.
Yeah, on defense, Patrick Scott, Coach, the anchor of that defensive front. Boy, he destroys a lot of plays. And today he had 6 total tackles, 4 solo, and a tackle for loss.
Well, after we announced the retirement, he said, Coach, we're going to win it for you. Well, his effort said he really wanted that, because I was really proud of him being really stout in that middle. And they do like to run a lot of zone in there with Mayhew, but he was really strong in there and did a great job against their center.
Yeah, on special teams this week, Coach, it was Chase Vonador. Chase had the 1 field goal for 19 yards. He accounted for our only points on the afternoon, but as the season has progressed, he has developed into quite a place kicker for us.
Plus, our kickoff coverage being number 1 is because most of the time it's touchbacks. He's got it high and deep into the end zone, which is not returnable. So he's gotten better and better. Again, a freshman, but it's just going to be better as time goes on.
All right, Coach, as we go to break, let's take a look at the MEAC scoreboard and the MEAC standings, and we'll come back and talk about our next opponent, which is the big homecoming game in Tallahassee, after this time out on the Coach Joe Taylor Show.
Rattler Booster program supports all athletic programs at the university. Join the Rattler Booster Club. It's not too late.
Introducing a mobile application that can open up an entire new world for the orange and green faithful, with the ability to check out the latest in-campus news, events, athletic scores, and much, much more. Specifically designed for the FAMU. Whether it's linking to your class courses from your mobile device, looking through maps to find specific buildings on campus, or just having some fun looking through uploaded videos and photos, a great addition to your mobile FAMU student lifestyle. Get your FAMU app today.
.5 the Flavor Station, always represent that real hip hop and R&B. Sean D is in the building to that 7 o'clock hour.
Welcome back to the Coach Joe Taylor Show. Coach, it's homecoming in Tallahassee next week. Always a festive atmosphere, festive time, and a big football game is the center of all of the festivities.
Yeah, and certainly the administration from the president's office to the athletic office have put together some real outstanding activities, 125 outstanding alumni. It's going to be a real festive week. And I just told the guys on the knee after the game, you know, you're wearing the orange and green. Please, when the people come back and see homecoming, let them see that you are deserving of this orange and green. Mm-hmm. It's all about pride, and let's go back and work on that and show the orange and green pride this coming week.
All right, Coach, that's going to do it for this week's Coach Joe Taylor Show, but we'll be back next week and we'll have all of the highlights of the big homecoming game against North Carolina Central. That should be a great one right here next week on the Coach Joe Taylor Show. We'll see you then.
Pulls it now, shoots across the middle, touchdown Famu! Right on the money, and the Rattlers are back. Flushed out of the pocket, Rattlers have a spot. Can we make the tackle? We do. Fires toward the end zone. This one is picked off. That's Rattler first down. Move those chains. Touchdown, Famu. Down to the 5-yard line. Move those chains. It's a first down for Florida A&M. It's fired. It's picked off. The Rattlers with 45 seconds left have shut the door.